How's it going, guys? My name is just 𝗂𝘆 and welcome to my channel where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon available. Today's focus is on the mouse Pokemon Raichu. With access to Nasty Plot and a decent speed stat, then throw in Alluring Voice and Surf for coverage with Thunderbolt, this demon can trample its foes. Let's give it a try. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, and Reese. So they're going to lead off with Idris, the Landorus Therian, as I led off with my Dragapult. This is a pretty good lead for us. We can drop a Draco straight away. And they obviously can't intimidate us because of Clear Body, which is great, because otherwise I would have activated my Jetpack and sent me straight out. We are Terra Ghost. Don't want to do that, though. I say we just drop a Draco real quick. Let's go for it. Let's go for the Draco Meteor. They go for a U-turn first, telling me they're Scarf, which is good to know. They have a very fast team with priority on low kicks. So Titan in the snow, obviously, with Slush Rush. Landorus being Choice Scarf, pretty fast stuff. But we have a Dragapult. And in comes Snoot. Who's Snoot? The Abomasnow comes in, so Snow Warning is going to come through right now. We go for a Draco. We do miss, unfortunately, but this could be a blessing in disguise because it means now we can go for a Flamethrower and potentially take this Abomasnow out. We know it's probably going to go for an Aurora Veil here. Let's go for the Flamethrower now just to get rid of this thing. Flamethrower comes through. This is how they find out we're not Choice Specs. Doesn't quite do the job as they do go for a Blizzard, so it was a risky play going for the Flamethrower there. But I really thought they would go for an Aurora Veil. It's fine now as long as we can weaken this thing to the point where we can scare it out now with a good old Heracross potentially. That's the good part. We could also scare out with Raichu with a potential Focus Blast, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to go into the Heracross right now. Heracross can come through and we can get a sub up, and then we can get a nice knockoff off on the Landorus, which is probably going to come in. So let's go for a substitute now. They withdraw, as expected. They're probably going to go Landorus, right? Or Cresselia. No, Cresselia would not come in, right? Luna comes in. That is the Cresselia. Interesting choice. So we get a substitute up, which is fantastic. We are a sub Salac Berry set, which boosts your speed in a pinch. With Focus Punch, because Focus Punch is a 150 base power fighting type move. It's a very powerful move coming off for Heracross. And I really wanted to try to set it out because it just looks so fun. Let's go for a Mega Horn now. We get a free Mega Horn because they have to attack us and watch us miss. We go for the Mega Horn. We do not miss, so I'm very thankful for that. As that is nearly a dead Cresselia, which is awesome. So let's see what they go for here. They go for a Psychic. They want to break that substitute. They don't want to keep it up. That's fine. That's fine. Absolutely fine. We can go for a knock off this next turn. And if they do bring in the Landorus, we knock off that Choice Scarf. We're going to be in a much better position with that anyway. Which is fantastic. We still have opportunities to set up some substitutes later with the Heracross against the likes of the Abomasnow. Potentially. So we'll go for a knockoff now. That should KO the Cresselia. We go for a knockoff. That's going to take out the Cresselia, no problem. I'm curious to see what item it had. And we're also going to get a Moxie boost, which is nice. They had a leftover. We already saw the leftovers. What am I doing? Arthur comes in. Who's Arthur? The Gallade. We are Terra Steel. I could help on this thing potentially. We don't know what set it's going to be, but it's probably going to be a not Choice Scarf set because of the Landorus being a thing. I think Landorus is my best switch in, so I'm going to go into Landorus now. It's a physically defensive mon with Intimidate. Definitely can stand up to a Gallade, that's for sure. We'll see what the Gallade wants to do. We could have Terra Steel to take the Psycho Cut, but it would still have done a lot of damage because of the Sharpness ability. They do go for a Psycho Cut, which is going to sting a little bit, not too much though. And they are live for, which is good to know. Now, I am going to get the Stealth Rocks up. I don't see any reason not to. So they go for a knockoff, which is fine. It's going to do a bit of damage, nothing too drastic. They knock off a Rocky Helmet, but they get hurt by it in the process. And they lose some HP from the Life Orb as well. So we're whittling away at this Gallade nicely. We go for a Stealth Rock. That's going to be really useful because they have two Ice types on the team and a Bug type. You know, the Bombers are probably not Heavy Duty Boots. And the Titan might be, but it's fine. We're just going to go for a U-turn here. They go for an Agility. That is scary. That is scary right there. So we go for a U-turn. That's going to do a bit of damage. Nothing too drastic. Well, it took it down to orange. That's good enough for me. That is good enough for me. So let's see what we can do here. If they want to set up, we'll go into Forretress, quite simply. So Alcatraz comes in now, and we'll red card this thing out. That's what I'm going for here. So the snow stops, which is fine. I will red card this thing. I don't know whether I should get spikes up. I'm not going to get spikes up. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. That way we Volt Switch on whatever they get switched out into. So Sacred Sword comes through, activates our red card. They get switched out. Hopefully not into Landorus. That's the only downside to this Volt Switch play. Landorus could come in. It's completely random what they get dragged into. They get dragged into the low kicks, which is awesome. So They get dragged out. They are not focus sashed, 𝘂𝘼𝙈𝙀, sorry. So they're more than likely going to be choice banded or focus sashed, and the focus sash is broken. So that's a good thing for us. Now, I want to go into Landorus now 100% of the time. Get the Intimidate off on the low kicks. That's going to be really useful. And I would like to get my substitute back up with the Heracross so we can throw out some focus punches. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here again. They'll take out the low kicks, no doubt. And it kind of forces them to go into something else. But they actually go ahead and try and take us out with a first impression. Not going to work, because U-turn should do the trick. It does do the trick. The low kicks is down. We are cooking with gas right now, as the low kicks is a big threat to, well, everything. Low kicks is a threat. It's underrated. I love low kicks. So powerful. So powerful. So anyway, looking at their squad, I would say our best bet is going to be Forretress again, because it does kind of wall their entire team, except from the 𝘂𝘼𝙈𝙀 to an extent. Sacred Sword will sting us quite a bit. Snoot comes in. Who snoots again? That's the 𝘂𝘶𝘂. So the 𝘂𝘶𝘂 Pointed Stone is going to dig in, which does unfortunately KO them. I think that to be fair, I thought the 𝘂𝘶𝘂 had enough health there to live one more, but it just kind of didn't. But they haven't got Hazard Clearer, so what else was they meant to do? We'll just pretend that turn didn't happen. Landorus comes in now, full health, looking healthy and everything, looking like a threat. Gets the Intimidate off, which is fine. And we simply just go for a layer of spikes here. I think spikes is going to be really useful here, so I'm going to go for it. And they go for a Stone Edge. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Spikes are going to come through right now. And we're looking fine right now. We're looking fine. So spikes come through. If this thing's going to hit us with a Stone Edge, it might be better into Landorus. I think I want to go Landorus now, get the Intimidate off. I think that's a, Intimidate and then let it go down. And then it might be time for Raichu to come in. Might be time for Raichu to come in. Raichu could do some stuff. So they go for that Stone Edge. They do miss, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to go for a U-turn just in case they miss again. I may as well take advantage of that. They hit the Stone Edge, though. That's going to take out the Landorus, which is fine. That was my intention. Crit didn't matter. We all know that didn't matter, right? Yeah, good. All right, so I think it's time for Raichu to come in. I'm going to go into Raichu now. We're going to set up a nasty plot because we have got the Intimidate off. Do we go for a nasty plot? They probably expect the Surf, and they might go to Titan. I think we can live two Stone Edges after the Intimidate. I think they withdraw. Okay, so that's a good play. They probably want to come back in and Earthquake us later, which is when we'll reveal the Terror Flying. So they're going to bring in Arthur, which is of course the 𝘂𝘼𝙈. Stones are going to dig into them, and so is a layer of spikes. So we know we can KO this thing this next turn. We know it's not Choice Scarfed. We go for a nasty plot. That is going to be a dead 𝘂𝘼𝙈 the next turn. Let's see if Raichu can pull this back. So let's go for a Alluring Voice just to show the move off. Hey, look, I've got Alluring Voice. Awesome. 𝘂𝘼𝙈 goes down, which is fantastic. So we've 𝘂𝘼𝙈 out of the way. We've got a Titan, and we've got a Landorus. Hoping to see a Landorus right now. Idris comes in. That's going to be the Landorus. Nicely done. Stone's going to dig in. And if we weren't Terra Flying, this would be a great play, but we are Terra Flying. We're going to go for that Terra Flying Surf and take out this Landorus real quick. Raichu's going to come through for us. I can just feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So we're going to Terra Flying. Now, it's worth noting my opponent, I believe, hasn't Terra'd yet. So we do need to watch out for that. But let's go for the Terra Flying right now, just for now, so that we can, avoid the Earthquake from the Landorus, potentially. If they go for a Stone Edge predicting it, they didn't go for a Stone Edge predicting the Terra Flying. No one ever predicts the Terra Flying on the Raichu. We go for a Surf. That's a dead Landorus right there. And that is why I run Terra Flying, ladies and gentlemen, because it catches people off guard. They always go for the Earthquake, because if you're going to run Terra on Raichu, it's probably going to be Terra Water or Ice, right? You'd think so anyway. But in comes Tidal Wave. This is a Titan. So this thing potentially is going to do a lot of damage to our team. They aren't heavy G-Boots. They're more than likely Citrus Berry with Belly Drum. But I'm pretty confident we can take it out with a Thunderbolt right now. Unless they Terra, of course, into a Ground type, which I don't think they will. They are going to Terra. No, don't be Terra Ground. Don't ruin my Raichu game. No, you can't do this to me. You can't. You didn't. It's Terra Ice. Okay, they're going to go for the Ice Shard more than likely. The Terra Ice is probably there just to maximize the amount of power that goes into it. It could take us out. It's definitely a possibility that it'll take us out, because Raichu is not by any means defensive, as down goes Cheese. So that is unfortunately the game for Raichu, but not for the rest of the team. This is Titan's going down, watch. We've got a Heracross, which granted is limited to Focus Punch. We've also got a Forretress with Body Press. I think it might be Forretress's time to shine, because they don't necessarily know what we've got on this thing, right? I mean, we go into Heracross anyway. We scare it. We haven't a real Focus Punch. They're probably thinking, hey, this is the game, which is awesome. They go for an Ice Shard, potentially, maybe. Potentially. I want to go for a Substitute. We go for a Substitute right now, just to see if we can. Because obviously Focus Punches are only an attacking move that can hit this thing. They go for an Ice Spinner though. That is unfortunately meaning we're not going to be able to pull off the Focus Punch. I would have liked to at least see the animation for it this game, but I guess it's more of a Raichu video, so Raichu is in the spotlight of this video. I love it. So I'm going to go for a Mega Horn now just to get the damage off and see if we can kill this Titan. So Mega Horn comes through, it just misses the KO, and they reveal they have a Citrus Berry, which we already kind of knew because of the no heavy duty boots, which is awesome. So they go for an Ice Spinner now. It's definitely going to KO Heracross, I believe. And if it doesn't, Ice Shard will do the trick. So Heracross goes down, like so. But I believe we've weakened this Titan enough to where... because I'm not confident Forretress could take 2 Earthquakes from where it's at. But I'm pretty confident it can take 1. Which means I'm pretty confident Body Press wouldn't have KO'd before. So let's go for a Body Press now. They give the EQ. I'm sure we can live this. We would have lived too. Never mind. Forretress is just too bulky, man. Anyway, GG Reese. That was a pretty fun one. Raichu got to show off some moves, which is always nice. Gotta love it. And GG. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Puff. So they're going to lead off with Cloud Burst, the 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝗂, as I led off with my 𝘂𝗶𝗰𝗂. So we are faster. This thing's definitely going to be afraid of us, because we can drop a Draco or Dragon Darts this thing into Oblivion. They're more than likely going to switch out. If I had to guess, I'd say the Empoleon was coming in. So I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor now. They are actually Choice Scarfed, unless 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝗂 does outspeed Dragapult. I don't know. I can't remember my speed tiers. I don't think it does. I think Dragapult's faster. I think that's a Choice Scarf 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝗂 right there. And I think we are absolutely fine going for a Draco Meteor right now, because whatever they bring in, which is going to be the Tyranitar, we get a Draco Meteor off, and I knew it was either going to be this thing or the Empoleon. We go for the Draco Meteor. We get a bit of damage off. Nothing too drastic. Get that Jetpack, and then we go into Heracross and we scare this thing out with a close combat, and then we just go for a Substitute, which would be really nice. So let's go into Heracross now. Heracross is a great switch into Tyranitar all the time. They wouldn't risk the Tyranitar, that's for sure. So we get buffeted, of course, by the Sandstorm, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. We go for a Substitute here every single time, and they might Terra. You never know, they might Terra. They do withdraw those straight up. Probably going to see a Pelipper or a Great Tusk, if I had to guess. They go into Monsoon, which is going to be the Pelipper. It gets that Rain up, which is fine. That's better than the Sandstorm, because that Sandstorm was getting in my eyes. We go for a Substitute, though. That's going to be great. It means we're in a better position. So what does more damage, Knockoff or Focus Punch? Probably Knockoff. We get to go for a Knockoff right now, a free Knockoff on the Pelipper, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's pop that Substitute real quick, just temporarily while we attack. Get the damage off. Get rid of whatever they're holding, which is going to be the heavy duty boots. And then they go for a Hurricane, which is going to definitely break our Substitute, but doesn't do much damage to our old Heracross over here. So Heracross being a Substitute set is pretty fun for us, and that's for sure. They don't necessarily know we're Focus Punch, but we are. Now we're going to go into a 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝘂 or a Assault Vestmon, who can definitely take a Hurricane from this thing. They could go for a U-turn predicting the switch, but I don't think they will. I think they'll go for a Hurricane, and then we just go for a flip turn, right? So withdraw Heracross. Come on back, Hercules. And we'll go into a 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝗂 or Assault Vestmon, like I already said. I'm repeating myself, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. They go for that Weather Ball. It's going to do a bit of damage. Nothing too drastic, I hope. Yeah, no damage. That's fine. No damage is fine. Let's go for a flip turn, because they're probably going to switch out right now, if I had to guess, into either 𝘾𝗶𝗰𝗂 or Ninetales. They do stay in, telling me they're probably going to go for a Hurricane or a U-turn. Probably a U-turn, if I had to guess. This means this is a risky play, whatever I do. A risky play. Now, it's not the worst situation to be in the world. That's for sure. I guess if we assume they're going to go Hurricane or U-turn, if we assume Hurricane, we should go Raichu. So I'm going to go Raichu now. Go into Cheese real quick. There we go. They do go for a Roost, which is good. So Roost is the better of both worlds there. They don't get a free switch on my Raichu or anything like that. So let's go for a Thunderbolt. And if we see a Great Tusk switch in, we go for a Surf in the Rain and it'll sting quite a bit. But I think we see a Tyranitar switch here. We withdraw Pelipper, which is fine. And what are they going to go into? They could go 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 as well. Warden comes in, the Treasure Hunter. That is the Tyranitar. Absolutely fine. Getting chip damage off on the Tyranitar is always useful for us. Thunderbolt comes through. It's obviously not going to do too much damage. Nope. Draco Meteor did about, just a bit more than that. So it's as you'd expect. So if we assume they're going to go for an Earthquake or a knockoff here, they might fear the Focus Blast and go into 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 as well. So we have to watch out for that. I think Landorus is our best switch. So I'm going to go Landorus now. Because with the Sandstorm up, 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 can't go for that Weather Ball, which would be a Water type move in the rain. So it's less of a threat to my Landorus. And it can't go for a Hurricane because the accuracy is going to be lowered. Thanks to the Sandstorm. If that's how that works. But it'll have else. Oh, they predicted the Landorus switching over an Ice Beam. That's going to KO my Landorus. Good play. Great play. Great play. That was brilliant. I didn't expect that at all. Not at all. Okay, so Pelipper got its health back. We know it's got Roost. Heracross plays out the water. Can we body press? We can body press. We can body press. Yeah, let's go into Alcatraz real quick. They didn't get hazards up, so we have our Sturdy just in case they have Flamethrower. We go for a body press here 100% of the time, just because it's just going to do a lot of damage to the Tyranitar for a start. If they stayed in, which they don't, obviously, and they're going to withdraw into what? Firestorm. That's going to be the Ninetales, right? That's a cool nickname for a Ninetales Firestorm. I like that. Drought comes through. We go for that body press. It'll do a bit of damage. Over half. Crikey. Okay. Okay. 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃's coming in right now, right? Always coming in. 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃's always coming in right now. There is no doubt in my mind. So, Palindrome comes in. They go for that Weather Ball. It's not going to do much damage to us. Boop. Nothing. Nothing at all. Which is great. So we know they're probably going to go for a switch. I am going to go for a Flip Turn regardless. They actually go for a Solar Beam. So I could have gone for a Mirror Coat there. But I didn't think they would do this because, like, it's not going to do that much damage. You know? Doesn't do that much damage. So we go for a Flip Turn. This gives us a free switch into Dragapult who can finish this thing off. Which is going to be great. So let's see how that plays out for us. Oh, we can get Raichu and Surf. I'm going to go Raichu and I'm going to Surf this thing. That's what I'm going to do. Because they probably bring in the Tyranitar, right? If anything. So let's go for a... We could finish off with an Alluring Voice as well. Nah, Surf works just as well. Surf works just as well. So if we can finish this thing off with a Surf, that'd be great. Raichu looks like it's going to put in some work though against this team. Depending on what they do. Because they have the Empoleon, they have the Pelipper, they have this thing which is nearly dead. Tuscaloosa comes in. The Great Tusk. Gets that Protosynthesis, which is going to boost its attack. And let's see how much damage Surf does. Maybe Alluring Voice was the better play. Does a nice chunk of damage. Nothing too drastic. I'm leaning towards going for a Nasty Plot. I'm leaning towards going for a Nasty Plot with Terra Flying. That is what I'm leaning towards. But if they go for a Rapid Spin here, we're kind of boned. What would they expect to come in? Probably Forretress, right? So if we go for a Nasty Plot with Terra Flying, we should be alright. We should be alright. Because the 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 can't hit us with an Electric type attack when we're in Terra Flying because we have Lightning Rod ability. So we're not in a bad position. So Terra Flying is great because it means we are immune to Headlong Rush and we resist close combat. So we can definitely take one of those two. Ice Spinner, maybe not so much, but I don't think they'll go for an Ice Spinner. We go for a Nasty Plot. There we go. Setting up on their face as they go for an Ice Spinner. Damn. Good predict. That was a good read. Good read. It was a crit as well. Don't know if the crit mattered, but either way, really good read from Puff right there. They read me like a book. They read me like a book. So we've lost our Terra. We lost our Raichu. The Harsh Sunlight does fade, though, getting rid of their Protosynthesis, which is something. But they have Booster Energy. So they get their attack back. So that's unfortunate. So, anyway. I think our best bet's going to be 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃. 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 does, like, put in a lot of work this game. It puts in a lot of work. Yeah, I'm going to go 𝘾𝗏𝗄𝗃 now. Palindrome. Right, so we need to start taking this a bit more seriously because we're on the ropes here. We haven't took out a single one of their Pokemon yet, which is not good. So I say we go for a Scald. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. They go for a close combat, which is fine. It's going to do a bit of damage. Wow, there's way more damage than I thought it would. But it does lower their defenses, which is good to know. And we could always get a burn with this Scald. So Scald goes through, nearly takes them out, which is awesome. And now, if we know they're going to go for a close combat, we should switch out into 𝘂𝗶𝗰𝗵𝘂, but they might predict this and go for an Ice Spinner. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to go into the 𝘂𝗶𝗶𝗵𝘂 because I want the Regenerator on my 𝘾𝗾𝗵𝘂. It does really well against the team with the Assault Vest. So we'll go into 𝘂𝗂𝗶𝗵𝘂 now. They do go for the Ice Spinner, predicting the switch. Great play. Enough to take out the 𝘂𝗂𝗶𝗵𝘂, unfortunately. Which means it would have definitely taken out the Raichu without the crit. But I think Raichu's a bit frailer than 𝘂𝗂𝗶𝗵, right? So what's our next move? What's our next move? Probably Heracross. This does bait in the Pelipper. If we can get rid of the Pelipper and the 𝘂𝗏𝗏, Heracross kind of goes hard. I guess we go for Etruss. Because here's the thing, right? They're probably gonna let this thing go down. If I had to guess. I kind of want to go for a Spikes. I'm going to go for the Spikes because if they attack us, which they are doing with Temper Flare, that's a banging move to go for. We have got the red card though, which is going to hold up against them, and that means we get from 3 Spikes. Not 3 Spikes, we lost most of our health. We get Spikes up. They don't get to choose what they go into though. They go into Empoleon. Iron Trident. I love that name. That's a cool little nod to the future Paradox Pokemon. So we get Spikes up. So that Great Tusk is dead on switch, I think. And we try and go for a Body Press here, just in case they want to set up with the Empoleon. They go for that Disarming Voice. Didn't even know Empoleon got Disarming Voice. But we do now. We do now. So... that's a Throat Spray variant. So Throat Spray Empoleon, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting choice. So, Heracross is going to have to come in here. So we'll bring Heracross in now. We know we outspeed. We go for a substitute every single time just to scout to see what they're going to do. They actually go for a Vacuum Wave, which is going to do no damage. And then we go for that substitute, which is awesome. So substitute comes through. It will give us a Salad Berry the next time, right? So let's go for a Focus Punch now. So we're going to tighten our focus. Hopefully they don't go for a Disarming Voice. That would be unfortunate. They do go for a Disarming Voice because that hits through substitutes. This game was a blunder. This game was a blunder. But you know what? Just for the meme, I'm going to include it in the video because people keep saying I don't want load losses. And this is a 6-0 victory to my opponent. So you know what? This is going up. I don't care how embarrassing it is. I don't care. Let's go for a Miracle here, just to see if we can get some damage off on the Empoleon. They withdraw. They don't want to get hit by a Miracle. Fair enough. And they're going to go into Monsoon, which is the Pelipper. Drizzle's going to come through. We go for a Miracle. It's not going to work, obviously, but the Rain is kind of benefiting us because it means we can do more Scald damage. I'm going to go for a Miracle again. They go for a U-turn. They're just whittling us down at this point. They don't want to get hit by a Miracle. They're trying to get that 6-0 victory. Fair enough, fair enough. Cloudburst is going to come in. That's going to be the 𝘂𝗏𝗏𝗀. Fairly confident we can hit a we can live a Thunder from a Choice Scarf 𝘂𝗏𝗏𝗀. Let's go for a Miracle and find out. Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. They go for a T-Bolt instead. That's fine. We live those. We live those. We get fully paralyzed. If we get fully paralyzed, I'm going to be mad. Oh, you know what? You know what? This game's something else, man. Like, I did make some misplays, but you know what? It just wasn't meant to be, was it? GG, Puff. That was a pretty good 6-0 for you. Really, really, really awesome stuff. Puff, we lose to Puff, so GG.